Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
I'm never sure about Sahar's celebration on that one. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to impersonate a pelican or whether he's pooed his pants. You know, it's just the way he stands on it. Good evening. Sorry for the long introduction. It's back. Proper football is back. Although, of course, you could say that for us, everybody's a week behind us because, of course, proper football was back for us last week when we won a major English trophy, or as I like to call it, the English Super Cup. Yes, the Community Shield, Leicester City won. Some Scouse, not Scousers, but some Mancunians who pretend to call themselves City nil. Great start to the season. It's Leicester Till I Die TV. We're on Facebook at, the Leicester Till I Die group, on Twitter at Leicester TID, and if you're on YouTube, it is a Leicester Till I Die TV. Please give us a subscribe, press my buttons, tweak my knobs. It gets me happy, gets me smiling, as do these two gentlemen that I'm going to bring in now. Bradley, good evening. Do you like your buttons being tweaked?
I don't mind, but I don't like being called Bradley. It's not my name.
That's
not my name.
And Daniel, good evening, sir. Yeah, I know you like your buttons to be tweaked.
Oh, more than once. In one sitting.
All three of them. Let's not go there, eh? Good evening. It obviously is going to be the prediction show tonight, but we do have some breaking news, which I'm sure is going to bore Dan, but Brad and me are going to be very, very interested in. And small matter of a bid for Vestergaard being accepted. Let's just pull this one up the right page. Brad, good signing if we get him.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've never really known. I can't remember the last time Leicester did a deal like this, had a bid accepted and didn't get the player. But, you never know until you actually see him in a Leicester shirt, do you, for it to not go wrong. It's the signing that once you heard the rumour, and now you're probably reading this if you've been alerted to it, you're thinking, if we was going to buy someone and spend some money, that's the sort of player you want to bring in. 29, bags of experience, works well with Bertrand, obviously with Casper as well. Good age, good all round. He's good for the position. He knows the role he's going to have at the club. It's a great deal all round. We don't
normally. I mean, the last time we did a signing this quick, unfortunately, it was Perez. But
well, we can forgive him for that. It's one of the few things to say sorry. That'll do. Keep it up for Europa League, and then I'll forgive him.
Yeah, I've had a American Man United fan coming on saying, "What the fuck you doing? You get an injury, you go out, you sign another player, hopefully, fingers crossed, straight away." And I mean, they've accepted our bid, so I can't see there being a problem. Dan, Tarkowski is safe.
Yeah, is he though? That's the question. Obviously,
he is for us. I don't know who else is interested.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. I'd have preferred to have lost him for some money, if I'm honest. The fact that he's got that, this year and that's it, he'll go on a free. We've not done much in terms of making him believe that we're going to do anything, to progress as a club.
Yeah.
But yeah, for you guys, obviously, Jannik Vestergaard, as Brad said, it ticks all the correct boxes. I said it on my channel as well that, when I was debating the Premier League, that Southampton will struggle this year. And they're going to struggle even more now. Losing Vestergaard, losing Ings. They lose Ward-Prowse to injury and they are done.
Yes. And of course, they'd already lost Bertrand because they didn't offer him a contract.
Yeah. It as I said, the bid's been accepted. I can't see the player not wanting to join Leicester. I think you only have to go back to your interview with Rob Tanner the other day when he said about, the facilities there, and he was only allowed in half of the facilities. He couldn't go into the bit due to COVID, but the other part, he even said that, the facilities are phenomenal. So fair play to him. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And a solid acquisition for Leicester.
Brad, I mean, thank you, Dan, for mentioning the Rob Tanner interview. Of course, ex-Leicester Mercury chief correspondent for Leicester City, now with Football Online athletic transfer news and football news. Great stories on there. Check it out. I spoke to him last night, in fact, and he sort of hinted that Vestergaard was a strong possibility. 32 games last season, Brad. That's virtually every game, isn't it? And, we've been after him here, it says, since January 2020.
Yeah, he is one that I've heard before. We spoke before we came on about it. Yeah, I can't say any more than what I said previously, mate. He ticks all the boxes. I know Cahill was the predominant shout for a quick fix for a year, but I was more inclined to agree with it. I know you was saying Cahill for free, and it made why that would have made more financial sense. Because obviously he'd come on a free. I think he's perfect. Like I said, it's like having an all-rounder in a sense. He's the right age. He's still got a few years, and then it's cheap. He's always been one who's wanted to always be playing at the highest level. You just see the national team and what and what they're like. Yeah. They like to win.
And of course, we'll forgive him for being part of the team that let 9 in that time. We forget those things, twice. But,
yeah.
I wanted Cahill because I didn't think we had the money. I've got to be totally honest with you, to go and buy, pay 15 million. I mean, they're losing 3 million on him, but they've had him a few years and what have you. But I think, and I'll just stick with you for this, Brad, before we move on, is I think now I don't think we'll see any move unless it's on loan for a right winger now.
Doesn't look like it, and I think that's a position of, in Brendan's mind, he's obviously seen that at the start of the season, and I would think any manager, if they really needed a position to strengthen it, they try and get the business done as quick as possible, especially if it's in that area. But like I've always said, my opinions on Perez are entitled and open to changing if he has worked his absolute nuts off on the training ground field and finally turns in a performance that warrants him being at Leicester. When he does that, I'll happily eat some humble pie, but Brendan obviously doesn't see an issue with it. So
no. At the end of the day, I think with Perez, we have to accept that whatever we think about him and his performances, he does something for Brendan that Brendan likes. Hopefully not in the same way that Junior Lewis did for Peter Taylor, but we won't go there.
Well,
we won't go there. But hopefully, we're going to be welcoming Jannik Vestergaard over to Leicester City, and it's great. And I tell you what, if anybody is watching from other clubs, like Dan has joined us here. I mean, Dan, this shows we're not going to take prisoners, Leicester, this year. We mean business.
No, I agree. And if Vestergaard and Soyuncu's face isn't enough to put a striker off, then I don't know. You've got Lord Farquaad from Shrek and the troll from Labyrinth at centre back. So, it's and I thought Ian Dowie was the replaced footballer. But no, as I say, you have got a solid acquisition there. We'll do decent. I think even Fofana will be made up at the fact that as a club, he can see that there's progression, and he knows full well that they're doing all the right things. They're ticking all the right boxes.
It does, and totally. And Brad, like you say, clubs are looking at that thinking, Jesus, Man United. I know it was a different sort of deal. Took us nearly 2 years to get Sancho in. It takes Leicester a couple of weeks to get a player in.
Yeah, and the thing is, it still makes me chuckle that some fans come on and go, how do you do it? And to Leicester fans, it's like, doing it for years, apparently.
Mm.
We've been doing this for years. It's, Leicester fans is like, this is how our club's been run. This is what we're used to. This is why we go on about our owners so much, because this has been done since day one. I will argue tooth and nail with every sod out there that we have the best owners in the world.
I couldn't disagree with that. I don't think I could disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
We might not be the richest, but we are the best run club, thanks to them. Yeah.
So Ethan Woods, yes, it does look like we're signing Vestergaard. I'm feeling a lot happier now. I've got to say, I've got a huge smile certainly inside. So fingers crossed. Like I say, there's no problems. I can't see there being a problem. Apparently he's travelling. But talking of signings and talking about the Rob Tanner interview, if you haven't watched it. I say interview Rob Tanner last night. It is on the YouTube channel, Leicester Till I Die TV. He makes a very, very interesting point about Islam Salami. I'll never get that name right, even now he's gone. Slimani. Watch it. It took me by surprise what he said, but I'm not going to tell you here because I want you to go and watch the video and sub to the channel, please. It's well worth watching just for that comment. Patrick, thank you very much. Intro is legit dope, mate. Now, I'm 60. Someone needs to translate that for me. Does that mean it's good? Go on, Dan.
That means it's absolutely fantastic, Jeeves. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, God, that's better. That's better. Saying hello to Scott. Hello to Melina as well. How the devil are you?
Big up, Mel.
Hello to some northern lass that pops in every now and again.
All right, you.
I'm just wondering, if you go to the pub with your mates, you turn around and you just see her behind the post.
Honestly, she's on video call in my pocket when I go out. She can't even see pool table, and she still tells me what my next shot should be.
Tells you which ball to go for. Let's not go there. Kate, you're most welcome. Thanks for joining us. Scott, hello. Did I say hello to Scott? I will say hello again today. Ethan Woods, what's up? Yeah, well, you've already said it. Vestergaard's coming. Kate loves my introduction. Thank you very much, Kate. Let's have a look. I hope your dad's well, Melina, by the way. I hope she's doing all right. Basically, everybody in chat's having a chat amongst themselves, saying hello to everybody else. And Rob, good evening, Rob. Thanks for joining us. Bit of height in the box at corners and free kicks. Hope it works out. I tell you what, I thought Amati did okay in the Community Shield, but great bit of signing this. What we got here? Craig, good evening, Craig. How the devil are you, sir? We're vulnerable defensively and toothless in attack when it comes to set pieces, so there's an improvement from that perspective. Craig, keep calm, mate. Don't get too excited. You know what I mean? It's bad for your blood pressure.
Hope you're well, Craig.
The king of understatement is Craig. Hiya, David. How are you doing? Welcome along. Rich, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Says you get around, Dan. Somewhere he said you get around, Dan.
I'll definitely be getting around when you come up from the Leicester Burnley game. Oh, I thought you meant getting around in. Although I am a genuine nice person, so yeah, I will get around in for people. But yeah, I do get around.
Tickets have just gone on sale for Burnley, by the way. Tickets have just gone on sale. And Kate says you get around. I just thought it was rumours. Rich said, yeah, I think Southampton are going to struggle. They're going to have any teams left. I feel a bit sorry for them, to be honest with you. Okay, only in the comment section, being supportive. I'm a big fan. I think that's for you, Dan.
It's not. It's for you, Chris. You don't like me, really.
Scott, we're not going to get into that. We'll be here until midnight. Just wondering if all the FFP rules been relaxed. I don't know. Ask Manchester City. They know. David, good evening. How are you?
How you doing, David? Hope you're well.
Daniel, you only get views because I give them you. Pipe down.
See, sometimes I don't even have to say anything. I don't even have to say anything.
Yeah. Talking of being in control, good hello to my daughter. Yes, I do rule, and you never forget that, Heather. Never forget that.
Hope you will, Heather.
Did Brad get bored? I don't know what he's doing off camera there, but I hope that's his knee. I'm not 100% sure. You know. Well, it's you lot saying hello to everybody. Check the comments. He's back. He's back.
Severe pins and needles.
In true Jesus style, he rises from the ashes, doesn't he? Look at him.
It's my intro. That's what I was doing.
Craig said, last one before we say anything. Craig says, any sign of a Burnley away shirt? or is it due to financial restraints? Are you playing in skins when you go away?
Honestly, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is part of why I was frustrated earlier. That since the new chairman's come over, he's promised us everything. Spoken a good show and everything, and it's getting, as you say, there's 3 weeks left. Which, it is a long time in a sense, but the season starts on Saturday, and usually you want your business done before the first game kicks off. Mm-hmm. We've not even released an away shirt, and they've come out and said we're not even releasing it till middle of next week. We play Liverpool at dinner time on the Saturday next week, so nobody's going to be able to have an away shirt if they want to purchase an away shirt instead of a home shirt to wear at Anfield.
Don't want to say anything, but our third strip is out next week. I'll leave that with you, Dan. I'll leave that with you.
This is the thing that bugs me, though. We had a media day. We had a media day 5 days ago. On that media day, they will have took pictures of all the players in the home kit, away kit, and third kit. Why can you not announce it?
Well, like I say, I don't know. It's not for you. Paul, we'll have a collection for you, mate. We'll have a collection.
Yeah, please do.
If we get out, we could all send you all our away kits from the last couple of years, and they could wear them. Playing Liverpool, it's the reds versus any other colour that's out there. It's Leicester till I die, and it is in the prediction show. Good evening.
Are you ready? I'm saying, are you ready?
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Thank you for bearing with me. 2 introductions there because I had to load something else up. So it looks good. It looks good. You think this show is thrown together? No, it's meticulously planned down to the last bit of everything. Dan is saying, Rob is saying here, Dan, it'll be a bin liner pop to Asda. This sounds a bit bitter here from Rich. American owners are usually pretty good at rinsing fans.
Yeah. They won't surprise me.
I think you're speaking from experience there, Rich. You may get the away shirt for your 30th if you're lucky, and if it comes out before that, Dan. Well, that was about 5 years ago, wasn't it, Kate? Says me here. You know.
I know. Be careful to switch your computer off and not the other machine, because it'll just stop your heart from ticking, won't it?
Look, you're young enough to be my son, so I'll send you to the room with no tea. Right. So it is the prediction show. Proper football is back. I say we did have the English Super Cup last weekend, but this is proper league action now. So I'm going to go through the games one at a time. So we're not going to actually predict the score as such, but we're going to say sort of win, lose, draw, etc., etc. So basically, let's go to Brad first. Friday night isn't all right for fighting, but it is all right for Brentford Arsenal kicking off the new season. Brad, which way do you see this going?
Arsenal still have Arteta in charge.
They do, yes.
They spent 50 million on Ben White.
They did.
And they still think they're getting Maddison.
They do.
They can't afford 70 million.
They can't.
Shall we really see it sum up? I'm going to go Brentford.
Really?
Yeah, why not? It's Arsenal, mate.
Yeah, no.
It's Arsenal. It's the new meme, mate. It's Arsenal. They're up there with Spurs. They're finally on the same level. It's Arsenal, mate. Brentford.
I can't argue. I mean, you put some very, very good points there. And I just wonder. Problem is, I can't see. I don't know about you, Dan. However bad Arsenal are, I can't see them getting rid of Arteta. I don't think he's going to be the first manager to go. No,
I don't think he'll be the first to go. I think you've got to look at, Watford that do a lot of chop and change over the season. Yeah. They're definitely is bad for chopping and changing. Vieira's another one that's got a chance of being gone.
Yeah, I think
if it doesn't work out from the off, and it's not just that. People have been saying with Vieira as well that it's one of those where if results aren't going their way, that it could be gone by Christmas. But I think if he doesn't keep Wilfried Zaha sweet, Zaha's a big influential player in that team, and if him and Zaha don't get on, that could also be the end of him.
Yeah,
very much so. They're my two favourites to go. Would you agree with that, Brad? It's going to be either the Watford, just because they like changing the managers more than Dan changes his underwear, and Vieira, who's got no experience in this league. Half the team's gone from Palace. It's going to be one of those two first. I have a feeling.
You'd be hard pressed to immediately think of another name that springs to mind that you think they're going to be getting a sack. Daniel Farke looks very settled and seems to obviously have the backing of the board because he was kept there to bring them back up. He's done his job. So I can't see him getting sacked early doors if he doesn't get off to a great start. Brentford are on a high. I've already got my prediction for them, so I think they're actually going to have a decent start. So he's probably going to be one of them clubs, maybe even Ralph Hasselhouten.
Yes, yeah.
After all the
good shout, cracking shout.
Yeah. So Dan, what are you going to go for this one?
Yeah, I second Brad's comment as well. To be fair, I think you can only look at Brentford against Arsenal in this. And will that help Arsenal? The fact that everyone thinks that Brentford are going to win this? Potentially. But I do think that Brentford, as Brad stated, that they're on a high. They'll come up. Their first game in their new stadium in the Premier League. Fans back in the seats. Give them a show. Put on a show for them and, get that first win in the bag. So, yeah, I've got to go for Brentford for this one.
Everybody here is talking about managers. Tuchel, one or two have said. Arteta, if they have a bad start. I just don't think Kroenke has got the balls to do it, to be honest with you. But we'll see. We will see. Now, I can see where you are both coming from with this. I think you're both wrong, but there we go. No, I just think it is going to be a tough start for Arsenal. And I can't believe, I think that sums Arsenal up, the fact that we're talking they're playing Brentford and we're saying it's going to be a tough start for them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad.
The fact that we're actually debating it and thinking, it could be, is ridiculous in a way. And credit to Brentford as well.
That is how far they have dropped, if you like. But I'm agreeing. Craig just put this in, and I'm going to agree. And it's not often I agree with Craig, but I'm going to go for a draw. I just think I can't see Arsenal winning. I'm just not sure about Brentford. But to be honest with you, I've got Brentford down as my surprise package next season because I think they will do a bit of a Sheffield United. And if Ivan Toney finds his shooting boots from the off, I think they will do very well. So that's the Friday night game. Sorry, Arsenal, not a good start for you. Rich is going to be interested in this one. The noon kickoff on the Saturday, Man United Leeds. Brad, what do you think? It's a good old that's a game from the past that used to cause a lot of excitement.
Yeah, it is. It's always one that's been very heated, to say the least. A few players crossing the bridge that really upset Leeds fans. Alan Smith was one of the most interesting cases in that. I've seen a few videos on that transfer. One I think was by The Athletic on it. The whole saga of Leeds at that point. So there's always been something between them, as you know, as far back as anyone can remember. It's an interesting one, but I've got to give credit where it's due, and it makes me feel a bit ill to say it, but United have actually done some decent activity in the transfer window. I was impressed with Leeds last season, but opening day is at Old Trafford as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I just can't look past the Manchester United win. I think it'll be a hell of a game, but I'm sticking my neck on the line and saying Man U win.
Leeds came out of the block very well, Dan, last season. Can they do it again this season?
Why not? I think it's you can't rule out a Bielsa side, to be honest. You know, I'd like to say that Leeds are punching, but they've done well since coming up. I think they've done the right route by, they did drop the divisions, fair enough, but they rebuilt over those years. And they've come up and they had a bloody good go at it in the first season coming up. Everyone was hoping they'd be the whipping boys, they'd go back down. Everyone wanted to laugh at Leeds getting relegated again. But then, in a weird way, they sort of became, not everybody's, but a handful of people's sort of second team, which is disgusting to say because it's Leeds. But for me...
It's disgusting to say because Leicester's everybody's favourite second team.
I think it's just got one of those where there'll be a lot of pressure on United with the new signings to hit the ground running. As Brad says, yes, okay, they're at Old Trafford, so they've got that with them. But Leeds aren't no underdogs, you know what I mean? They'll go there thinking they've got a chance that they're going to win this. So yeah, it's one of those where people are going, oh, it's United Leeds, it's going to be a big tasty afternoon kickoff. Bam, 0-0.
Yeah. Yeah, games that you expect to be good always let you down. But so of course we come to Burnley next. But so which are you? What are you going to go for there, Dan?
I'm going to have to sit in the draw for me. I think, as you say, it'll be an end-to-end game, but I think they'll just end up cancelling each other out.
Yeah, I see exactly what you say. You do think these games are going to be really, really good, and they always disappoint. For me, this is probably one of the most interesting games of the weekend because it's Leeds' second season, and I always think the second season is excuse me, I do apologise. The second season to me is the important season for teams when they come up, because. We look at Hull, they came up, they stayed up, they went down the next season. Blackpool, yeah, the same. Sheffield United last season, who would have thought they'd have gone down after the season they'd had before?
Yeah.
It's that second season syndrome. I know Leicester won the Premier League in the second year of being up, and that was the only reason I was stating this, so I could get that comment in. But you'd think nothing less of me. But I can't see Leeds doing that somehow. I just, they finished an amazing 9th. They won about the last. Well, I think they won the last 4 games last season. But Brad made excellent point. Ollie has done some good business. The problem is he's going to have a hell of a lot of pressure on him. A lot of people have turned around and said Brendan Rodgers has underperformed. He's a bottler. Leicester are a bottler because, they failed to get into the 4th place 2 seasons running. To me, there's 2 bottlers out there. I'll come on to the second one later. One of them is Ollie. He's the semi-final king. And when he does get through to a final, he loses it. Ollie's really got to win something this year with the money that they've spent. And if he doesn't win at least a trophy, the League Cup, then he could go. He could go. But with the money he's spent, I am going to have to go for a Man United win here, simply because of the team he's got. You look at some teams and you think, oh, they can just go out and they don't need a manager that good. They'll just go out and play. That's almost Man United this season. Scott, last 2 fixtures between Leeds and Man United were high scoring last season, weren't they? I don't know, to be honest with you, Scott. I haven't got those details up.
Yeah, Leeds got torn apart trying to play attack against United, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think they got beat for like 5-2 or something like that, 4-2, something. Yeah, might have even been 6. I'm not sure.
7 was Aston Villa, Liverpool, wasn't it? But
yeah, that was 7. I think Leeds was something daft like 6-2.
Yeah.
Dan, let's come to you first for this one because you are the home team. You're starting off, and I saw you earlier talking with the Brighton fan. It's a battle of the nearly relegated clubs, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, and it's one of those you're playing against a team that you'd expect to be in and around come the end of the season. These are the games where you need to be taking the 3 points. Okay, it's the opening day of the season, so a point is fair enough. It's fine. It's the first game. You get it out of the way. You start finding your feet a little bit. Obviously, we've got the tougher test, the week after away at Liverpool. But we've either way, no matter how you look at it, you play each team twice. We start off with Brighton.
Well spotted that, Dan. Nothing gets past you, does it?
And I am learning. I am bloody learning. The thing is, I said prior to the fixtures being released, it wouldn't surprise me if we end up getting Brighton, but I said it would be Brighton away first game of the season. Right. But it's Brighton at home. So I'm glad to not be far wrong. But I had a lot of belief this year.
Crystal balls.
I can see from the way you sat. That's the gleaming. Can you see? It's the gleam in my glasses. It's so all to do with the screen. I was optimistic about Burnley this year, and I thought, mid-table finish is doable, but just with everything going on off the pitch at the moment, feeling like the connection between the fan and the club has just sort of been tore apart in a sense. On the pitch, we've got an aging squad. Brighton aren't really ripping anything up. It would not surprise me, Craig, in the slightest. To be fair, is it the nail on the head with my prediction, though? I'd have to go for probably a draw. It's one of those games where either someone's 1-0 up early on and then somebody equalises late on, or it's one of those where it's 0-0 till the death and somebody nicks it on a set piece. It's not going to be an interesting affair, put it that way.
It's one of those games that one of the teams will win.
All right, Michael Owen.
No, that's what you were going to come out with.
No, it's going to be that boring of a game that even Match of the Day, as much as they're obliged to show them, will not want to show this game because it's going to be a drab. Has
Brad nipped out or nipped to the loo?
No, my leg's really hurting and I've got to stretch it out. So I'm still here, but my camera just gone off.
I didn't hear 100% what you're doing, but I heard scratched out, and I don't think I want to know anymore. Do you want me to go next, or are you okay to go with this one?
No, I can still hear you. Just my right leg's giving me some jips, so I'm trying to stretch it out.
Right. That's what it's called these days, is it?
Yeah, sure.
Brad stretching it out.
That's not helping. Shut up.
Vaseline, mate. Get some Vaseline. So Burnley, Brighton, Brad.
I didn't see Craig's comment, but I'm going to say that I'm guessing he put this down as a 0-0, and this sounds like the biggest door of
A
dishwater
1-1. A 1-1 in fairness.
Well, I think, you know how you said that you big up a game and it ends 0-0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, take that score line because I'm going for a draw. I know we're not doing score lines, but that's the best way to tell you because interesting fact to find out about Brighton. They've been in the Premier League for 3 seasons, and every season they've only ever won 9 games. So I can guarantee you they're not going to get the first one out of the way in this game of the season, and it's Burnley. Sorry, mate.
No, it's totally understandable.
I love you to bits, but these two just always, every time you think of Brighton Burnley, I always think it's going to be boring and a draw. And I don't know, you could have a really exciting record against them, but every time I hear these two teams, and I hate to say it, but I think Burnley might be in a bit of trouble this year. I don't think you'll go down again, but I don't think you'll have such a good season. I think you two will be rather close at the wrong end of the table. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah.
Obviously, like you say, I hope I definitely hope you're wrong, but you know, it is one of those where I can sort of second your statement. Really, it is worrying this season. The squad's getting older. You know, we're going to have to rebuild at some point, and we're not going to have the financial power to replace 6 or 7 players in one season, and it's going to catch up with us. So. I said it on Rich's channel. I put it in a different sense. I said it was almost like Burnley and Barcelona, where Barcelona had the likes of Piqué and Puyol. They had Xavi and Iniesta. They had Ronaldinho and players like that were aging in the squad. And they still haven't sort of found a formula to replace those sort of characters. Burnley aren't going to have that either. And that's the only comparison that I'm going to ever put Burnley and Barcelona in.
I can understand why. So two draws there. Now, yes, Static saying that's it, stretch it out, Brad. Brad's trying to pretend that it's an Olympic sport, this a gold medal in stretching it out. I'm stopping because my mind is racing ahead here, so I'm going to move on and give my prediction for this game because I don't know that I'm the only one. I'm the only one that doesn't get Brian. What's Potter, the Brighton manager?
Brian Potter. That's from Phoenix now, isn't it?
I realised when I said that. Graham Potter, of course. Graham Potter.
What's he doing here?
Well, to be honest with you, I think he could probably just do as good a job because everybody is saying, "Oh, he's doing a fantastic job," and Brighton are a lovely team to watch, and they finished 16th, so they ain't that good. They ain't that good, you know, and they can't score in the proverbial ladies' house, you know, and they've lost the best defender, although it was a good bit of business. So I don't know who they're going to bring in. I just don't think they're that good. And as you know, Dan, I do have a soft spot for Burnley and Burnley fans. You know, it's a swamp at the bottom of my garden. I just... Do you know when you... I don't know whether it's just me being horrible or not, but you know when you see these clubs that just manage to stay up year after year after year, like Wigan did it. You know, they always just manage to stay up either on the last day or a few seasons before. Yes, they won the FA Cup, but they finally went down. And when you've got a club that's bobbing along at the bottom of the table but not going down, I just want them to go down and let somebody come up and give them another chance, like Brentford, you know. But I am actually going to stick my neck on the block here, and I'm actually going to go for a Burnley win.
I'll take that, Chris. Can I?
Yes, you see.
Clipped.
Scott, I've got to be honest with you. If you were on Keane's show last night, Dugout TV, I had Newcastle as one of my 3 to go down, so I totally agree with you there. I think it could be Newcastle, but I think there could be 4 or 5. I just think Sean Dyche won't let that happen again, and don't think you'll have a fantastic season, but I think you're going to be more mid-table than you were sort of this season. So yeah, I'm going to go for Burnley win there. So that was the Battle of the Bs. We've now got the Battle of the Cs. Chelsea, Crystal Palace, and I'm conscious that I want to get in between stretches. So, Brad, what are we going to go for? Chelsea, Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira's first game.
It's going to be an absolute massacre. It's going to be an absolute massacre. Chelsea, this is easy. It's just easy. It's written there for an absolute Chelsea massacre. Just paid 97.5 million or whatever it was, absolute ludicrous money to buy Lukaku back.
Yeah.
And it just reeks of him hitting the ground running and smashing a few goals. And this will be an easy one for Chelsea. I just gut feeling tells me the state of the clubs, the ends of the scales they are. Big win for Chelsea, this.
And would you agree with that, Dan?
Yeah, couldn't have put it better myself. No else really to add. It's Chelsea's game. You know, the only thing I could say is that Palace need to get it right straight away, and if they don't, they're in trouble.
Yes.
So yeah, it's Chelsea all day long.
I am. Yeah, no. do you know, Brad? I've just seen your message in the private chat. You do not know how happy that makes me. I've been waiting for nearly just over a season for that comment, and that's a comment between Brad and me. But if you need to, mate, just go and just shout between. So don't worry if you have to go. I honestly think I'm going to have to agree with you both. Because I say Crystal Palace is one of my other possibilities of going down. And Patrick Vieira is one of my choice of 2 managers to be sacked earlier. First, like I said earlier, I honestly think had Tuchel been at Chelsea earlier last season than he was, that they might have actually pushed Man City a bit harder and possibly even had a title bid. I wasn't sure when he came in, but total respect for the guy at the FA Cup when we beat them. I just thought I'd get that in again, but he made the players stand and watch and. He didn't let them come off until we'd taken the medal. So, but he, like you say, Lukaku's coming. Werner, I jokingly said my choice for Golden Boot next season, but I don't think it would happen. I think you get more better odds on that than the 5,000 to 1 with Leicester. So I'm going to go Chelsea as well. Brad. Everton, if I do this, I'll do you, and then me and Dan, you can nip off and do what you need to do while we're chatting. Everton Southampton, Brad. New manager at Everton, no team at Southampton.
Yeah. Rafa Benitez hasn't exactly had the best of pre-seasons either. If some of the rumours that I've read are true, then apparently Richarlison's been told he's surplus to requirements at Everton. Before this, if you'd have said to me it's Rafa Benitez versus Ralph Hasenhuttl, I said it's going to be a great game, but I got a very horrible feeling about this game, and probably going to outshine you in how I think the afternoon is going to go, because I've got this down as a draw.
Wow.
I think both teams are going to be so not wanting to make sure they lose this game that it's just going to end a draw.
Okay. Everton Southampton, a draw for Brad. Dan.
Controversial, but I'm going to go that Southampton nick this.
Wow.
I have always said it would be typical.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We saw it with the Danes in the Euros, how they lost a key player in Eriksen, but they rallied together. Now that's what Southampton need to do to have a good season. They're losing their best defender, they're relying too much on a central midfielder and his set piece ability. Nathan Redmond's not ripped it up as much as he has done in the past. Danny Ings has gone, so that's his. That's where the goals are coming from. That's gone. You're expecting Shay Adams, however you pronounce it, to hit the ground running, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, it's just going to be.
You definitely pronounce it Adams, mate.
But yeah, I can just see Southampton going ahead and nicking this.
Right. Can I just sidetrack before I give my answer? I just want to read this out from my best mate, Fabrizio Romano. He posted this an hour ago. He started off by saying Leicester have been offered 3 different centre-backs after Fofana injury, but Vestergaard is the main target and priority. No bid for Ozan Kabak. Talks ongoing between Leicester and Southampton to reach an agreement. And what he added an hour ago, Jannik Vestergaard set to join Leicester, agreement reached, and here we go soon. Deal now in place with Southampton, as Mike McGrath confirmed. He'll be Wesley Fofana replacement after injury, personal terms to be agreed soon. So, hey, guys, let's get excited. Let's get excited. And talking about getting excited, I'm going to say good afternoon, good evening to Miss Melina over there in the north part of America. How are you doing, Melina? I hope you're well. Welcome back. Of course, it's the other Super Cup tonight, isn't it? Is it tonight? The European Super Cup?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not as interesting as the English Super Cup, but there we go. But for me, I'm for the first time here, we're gonna have 3 different ones because I'm gonna go for an Everton win. I just think Southampton have lost too many. Obviously Vestergaard, I presume, even if we haven't signed him by then, won't be playing because he'll be coming to us. It's just Patrick Vieira. I don't know his tactics. He's like I say, he's not got that much experience as a manager. Certainly, this is going to be a baptism of fire for him, and he's lost half of his team. So definitely for me, I am going for a Everton win. Now, the biggest game of the weekend, the one that everybody will be watching, nobody will be bothered about. Man United, Leeds, Arsenal, Brentford. No, Leicester, Wolves. This is the one that everybody's going to be watching and want to know the results. The future title holders versus some team from the West Midlands. Brad, what do you... Hey, look, if Gary Lineker can be accused of being biased on national telly, I can be biased on my own bloody YouTube channel. And you can't complain to Ofcom either, anybody. Come on, Leicester. Right, Brad, what are we going for here?
Fairly simple. It's probably a club that's gone under the radar. But if you really think about it, Wolves have kind of had a fair bit of chunk of what was bringing them the success of getting European football and starting, not suffering with second season syndrome, because they've lost a few key players. And most notably, they lost their manager, who took a step down to go to Spurs. And I think they can have a
took me a while to get that, Brad. Sorry, it took me a while.
There you go. You got there. It's his old age. Honestly, they've lost a few key players, and my old man is a Wolves fan, so I laugh at him a lot. He always reminds me that we lost them 4-3 that time.
Is he not a dustman, your old man?
He might be. I can't tell you that.
I know a man's milkman.
You're too young to know the Lonnie Donegan song. Do carry on, Brad.
But yeah, and I said to him, because obviously they sold Patricio, got rid of a few players. Jota was a big loss for them. I know Jimenez is back and was a big loss from last season, but I think maybe they'll have the edge because unlike Southampton, they've not got rid of their main striker for peanuts. And I just don't see. I see Leicester through blue tinted glasses, maybe, but Leicester are the club that's just on the up. They just look like they're just together on the train, King Power, first game of the season, it's Leicester all the way, mate. I ain't ever going any other score when it's the opening game of the season. I'm never going to go against Leicester. It's always going to be me picking Leicester for a win.
Now, I don't want to say anything here, Dan, or put any pressure on you here, but of course, I did go for a Burnley win. So, Dan, let's come over to you. What are you going? And I'm hovering over the mute button just in case this goes the wrong way. No, go for it. Go for it, Dan. Who do you think is going to come out on top on this one?
It's got to be Leicester, straight from the off. And that's without any bias or anything. Brad pulled up some very good points about Wolves. At the moment, with the new manager, they can't sort of stick with that same formula. The manager's going to have his own way of playing. Obviously, we're yet to see that. You guys have had some football under your belt, not just friendlies, but coming back and on a high from winning not a tournament, but winning the Community Shield. It can only be good. The Community Shield,
the Super Cup,
Oh, call it what you want. It looks like the average size of the plate I'd use for a mixed grill. Put it that way. But yeah, honestly, you can't look past Leicester. They've got it. They've got the shit together. Patson Daka looks like he's going to have a really good season. Vardy potentially this season is going to be a bit part, but it is going to be pivotal to come on in those dying minutes, or even if he starts. Nobody knows, but yeah, keeping that squad together, keeping it fit. Leicester on for a good season this season.
Yeah, I mean, Brad, you made. I'm just looking at some of the comments, which I'll bring up in a minute. You made the point, Brad. There's never the most exciting games. These they can usually end up in a bore draw, and in fact you've refused to come on the post-match show if it is a draw this season. But
yeah.
And of course we like a bit of VAR in this game as well, don't we? But I just think when you get a new manager. When the squad's not, it's right at the start of the season, so that has he got his message across yet? That's the big question. No, I don't think he has. We've, like Dan said, we've played a few games here, and we've played. Let's be honest with you. Not, yes, we had the three little, we had Burton and QPR and Wickham, but then we had Villarreal. And we had Manchester City, so we've had some tough games. So I'm again totally biased here. Harry Lineker's quite right. Nothing wrong with being biased at all. I'm going to go. I can't see beyond a Leicester win, which probably means we're going to lose. Scott says 10-0 Leicester. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be the record, wouldn't it? But. Ant, good evening, Ant. He's been on a couple of times from Ant's Leicester fan channel. Great guy, great Leicester fan. Had him on a few times. Welcome along, Ant. He said, I've come to the conclusion we are tonking Wolves back to Wolverhampton quite often. The Foxes will outgun the Wolves, I think is what we're going to say. But Scott makes a very good point here. If Villarreal beat Chelsea tonight, does that mean Leicester are the ultimate European champions? I think it does. I'm not going to lie, Scott. That is an excellent point. Come on, Villarreal. That's it. I can't see anything better than that. Good point, Scott. Good point. Right. We will. And it's my channel, and what I say goes. Watford, Villa, Brad. Villa, we saw they struggled without Grealish last season. Once he was injured, they struggled to do anything, but they've got 100 million in the pot that they've already spent a big chunk of. That Danny Ings signing, got to be totally honest with you, well done, Villa. That was done quietly, a bit like the Vestergaard. It's just came out of nowhere. I think. For me, I'll go first on this one because I'm virtually coming out my mouth anyway. I'm going to go for a Villa win. I can't see anything else. And I think Villa will have a really, really, really good season. Do you agree, Brad?
It's not often I say this, mate, but yeah, I agree. I don't know, maybe.
Clipped.
Maybe I almost feel a little bit. I almost feel a bit offended though, because it's almost like finding out your mate's copied your homework. Because they're the only club that I could probably say are close to doing what Leicester's doing. They've sold a player for a lot of money. That realistically, I still believe didn't he have a bit of time on his contract?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
There's 2 or 3 years left. Yeah.
This is only done by some unique clause that he got drawn in on the new deal. So they could have kept hold of him. They didn't need to sell necessary, but they decided, sod it. Why not? If Manchester City are serious and we can tell that this contract's going to get activated, they're going to jump at the chance. Let's spend a bit of money. And I don't know, maybe I play a bit too much FIFA and Football Manager, but Leon Bailey is a hell of a player. That's a hell of a buy. They've done really well this transfer window. And like I said, it's probably the closest thing to doing the same sort of transfer activity in the way that Leicester do it. They get ready-made replacements in, and this time they've gone, well, why don't we get someone in who's already started pre-season as well, has had some form of fitness and training, because it's not been a player that's requested to leave or handed in a transfer request. They've gone out, got the man, and they've been happy to sell. And so he's not going to take a couple of weeks to get up to fitness. They've got a great addition. Again, Chris, like you, Danny Ings as well, great addition. Bringing Ashley Young back to the club is a very shrewd move, especially if you remember, because Villa fans must have short memories remembering how he left the club. Wasn't something they liked. Yeah, I mean, I know Delph overshadowed that, but still. And I'm agreeing with you, Chris. I can't look past a Villa win. They're going to, I hate to say it, but I think Villa are going to impress a lot of people this season.
Yep, I totally agree. Yeah, I said the same. Is it a full house, Dan?
It is, yeah. As Brad said, and yourself, that what Villa have done, they've spent astutely. They've done really well. I just love and I also have to go for Villa. So it says CBD, which in oil form will be really good for your joints, Chris.
You have waited all night for that, haven't you, Dan? You've written that down.
I've been waiting.
About 2 o'clock this morning, without even knowing you were here.
Let me say, this is me getting secret messages to my dealer, who's watching. So shh. Don't
But yeah, no, Villa, they've spent wisely, as you stated. That Leon Bailey signing is absolutely class. You can argue as not being a fan of Villa that they shouldn't be there. They should have got relegated. We can all say it. We could all see it, but they are there. Nothing's going to change about that.
No jealousy. That was said with feeling, Dan. That was said with feeling.
It was in a way, because at the end of the day, if that was to happen to say yourselves or to us, I could understand other fans being peed off about it. And I think it's the fact that since then they've gone on and spent all this money, and you just think, how, where from, why? And as I say, maybe I'm just envious of other clubs having more money than we've ever seen. The only time we've ever seen money like that is if the chairman's had to stay in his office on deadline day and he's watched the £1 million drop, and that's it.
But I think, in fairness to Villa, I mean, that 100 million they got was for a player, and I don't think you can necessarily, it's not like, they've just been given that. I mean, Scott's made the point there. Yes, it was in his contract. We know that it was, but
yeah. And Villa offered him better money in terms of wage packet than Man City did as well.
Yeah, I think it wasn't.
So to be fair, that does show you he's not going for the money a little bit, in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it shows you that he's going for. He wants to be involved in trophies. He doesn't think that at Villa he's going to get that in. A football career is only short. Yeah. So he wants to win something, to back it up. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He came out and even said, at the end of the day, he's still a Villa boy. He's still a Villa fan.
Yeah,
you can't argue with it. Those idiots burning the shirts, I think, is just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we all
So
get upset.
could be worse. You could be Birmingham, couldn't you, and retire a number after a 17-year-old player?
Yeah.
This is
That was
very,
just
very true.
unbelievable.
You know, I mean, I got asked the other day why do Leicester still boo Mahrez? But I'll be honest with you, it's the way he left.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
We can reminate you on that because he's the one that always gets an hat-trick against us when we play City, so we like to boo him as well.
but no, he'll always be well remembered for what he did when we won the league and got etc. But just the way he left a bit of a sour taste in our mouths. Along if you're watching Mr. Chilwell, you want to learn some humility as well. Next game, lads. Is that the first one we've actually all agreed on? No, it was the second one we've all agreed on, isn't it?
Third.
And I think I have. Third, is it? Oh, yes, third. Indeed. My God. And this is something I never thought we'd see. Right. And I think we're going to make it 4 now. Norwich, Liverpool, Brad. Which side of the fence are you going to fall down on?
I really, really, really want to say Norwich. I really, really want to say Norwich. Every part of me just wants to say Norwich are going to win this game, but they're just not. And it's going to be annoying. Liverpool are going to win this game, mate. And that's it. That's just, yeah.
Right. Well, like you say, short but sweet. And you thought the camera was off then, didn't you, Brad? When you were doing your stretches, you thought the camera was off. But I have got some footage here of Brad stretching.
I need to turn this camera off properly.
You do.
I think he's got a mix of both of our cameras because he's got your lower half and he's got my beard.
He's got my boobs.
Some people say that's Photoshop.
So, Dan, which way are you going with this one?
Same as Brad. You can't look any further than Liverpool winning this. Okay, Norwich have made some decent signings on Sargent and Rashika and Billy Gilmore on loan. The best bit of business they did was giving us 8.75 million for Ben Gibson because it finally gets him away from us. So yeah, I think Norwich are in for a bit of a Norwich are in for a tough season, and Liverpool are going to start that off for them.
Yeah. I'm going to make it a full house again. I can't see past Liverpool for this one. I'd like Norwich to sort of stay up a little bit, but they're not. That they've sold. Will Cantwell still stay now, or will he go? I think if Cantwell goes, they might as well just pack the bags up and get ready for going down straight away. So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe Delia needs to write another book, get some money in. Let's be having
Where are you?
Yes, indeed. My God, I didn't know you could get that high. Bloody hell, mate.
Where are you?
Oh, that's a classic, isn't it? We know that's a classic. Now, this is going to be what we're going to do this one, Brad. Newcastle, West Ham.
It's a tough one. West Ham are probably West Ham fans are probably gutted they haven't yet or at all secured Jesse Lingard back to the club. Very bizarrely linked
with ourselves, hasn't it?
Yeah, very bizarrely linked back with us, and we've already had that. We don't want that again, thanks. That was atrocious once. I don't want it again. But you know my opinions on Jesse Lingard's false second coming on his loan spell at West Ham. But this one's just, this has got cabbage head all over it. You know what? Sod it. Newcastle will win it. Because everybody will expect West Ham to win because of what happened last season. So, yeah, I'm going to stick my neck on the line. Newcastle, cabbage head for the win.
Can I just say, this is Brad going for a Newcastle win. I'll just say this.
North Macedonia are going to win it. Get your bets on. You heard it here first. North Macedonia are going to wipe the floor of the tournament. Shock of the decade, shock of the century, you name it. You thought 5,000 to 1 was good odds. Well, listen to it. Get your bets in. North Macedonia to not just get out of the group, but they're going to win it. North Macedonia, come on.
What are you? Some kind of doomsday machine, boy?
Yeah, Brad just knows that's going to haunt him forever. And Scott mentioned it as well, Brad, not just me. Scott mentioned it as well. Maybe you were the wrong person to come in. Newcastle there, yep. West Ham punching above the weight last season, and they've got Europe to concede with as well, Dan. But it's Newcastle who, you know, every Newcastle fan predicts the opposition to win every game.
Yeah, it's a tough game to pick. As you say, you don't know what West Ham side's going to be played. You know, are they going to give, you know, the Europa League a serious thought, or are they just going to sort of, you know, play the youngsters in the Europa League, hope they can qualify for that while focusing on the Premier League? We've seen it ourselves. We've been there, done that, in the fact of it can derail your season. Yeah. I'm not expecting West Ham to rip it up like they did last year. It's a very tough game to predict. Very tough game to predict. So, as they say, if you're on a quiz show, if you're unsure, go straight down the middle. So I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay, let's just pop you in that little pocket there, Dan. And I've got to be honest with you, last season, West Ham definitely were punching above the weight. I think when they beat us, I think the 4th or 5th game in, we were like, where the fuck's that come from? Because of the season that they normally have, West Ham. They haven't got Lingard, and I don't think they would have ended up where they ended up if they hadn't had him last season. Newcastle, I feel sorry for Newcastle, and I feel sorry for the fans because, you know, you've got the Arsenal fans who have come along here, and I'm not having a dig at Arsenal fans, but it's kind of, you've finished, it's the first year in 25 years you've not had European football. You've finished 8th. It's not the end of the world. It's one season. Grow up and accept it and know that you might take a few years to turn it around. Newcastle have had Mike Ashley for 19 years. And I really do. If anybody's got anything to moan about, it's Newcastle fans. But they stuffed, I think it was 4-2. I have wiped it from my memory, but I think it was 4-2. Scott will correct me if I'm wrong. At the end of last season, when every Newcastle fan I spoke to and show I went on was predicting 4-5-0 to Leicester. So they can be unpredictable. Apparently, Steve Bruce isn't very popular, which, you know, you may or may not know, but he's not popular with the Newcastle fans. And their coach virtually runs the club, apparently. But I'm going to say, and it just, I can't see past a draw. I'm going to be honest with you, because I think West Ham will underperform, and I can just see Newcastle. It might be a boring 0-0.
Yeah, there's definitely scope for it. There's definitely scope for it. As you say, Newcastle have had a lot of drama, a lot of upset. Yeah, you know, I couldn't agree more with what you said. Arsenal fans, stop having a bitch and a moan. There's other teams out there other than yourselves. If you were whinging that much, then you'd have kept hold of Wenger, wouldn't you, and just whatever.
Yes, I always say, be careful what you wish for, because Scott has just said exactly the same. Literally popped up as you were saying it there. Do Arsenal want Arsene Wenger? But I can remember a Blackburn Rovers team, and sorry to mention this, but you'll probably remember this as well. I was working for them, I think, around that time. But Blackburn Rovers, who had they'd got the money in from Walker, the steel guy. He then went and sold it to some Indian chicken farmers. They'd got, I think it was Sam Allardyce was the manager, and they sacked Sam Allardyce because the fans weren't behind him, and they put, was it somebody, Steve Keane or somebody who was the
There was Steve Keane,
manager,
Henningberg.
Yeah.
They went through a bit of a rut of just trying to sign ex-players that had gone into management, and it didn't work.
Yeah. But Steve Keane took over, got them relegated, and they went to. Sorry, I can't multitask.
Yeah, no, they got relegated. They were down in the Championship. It were
League One. So I always say, be careful what you wish for.
Definitely. I mean, I was looking at an interview recently with Blackburn as well, where Tony Mowbray's come out and said that he sympathises with the board. That during COVID and everything else, that's why the club's not been able to do much business. Obviously, they've sold Adam Armstrong on now to Southampton. Is he going to tear it up in the Premier League? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I think Blackburn, if we're talking about Championship teams, they're ones for me. Taking the sentiment away as a Burnley fan, I still think that they're going to be one of the sides that get relegated this year.
It wouldn't surprise me, and to think how long ago was it they were buying the Premier League title, but there we go. So Brad's had to go, unfortunately, guys, so it's just me and Dan for this one. We've got the team that turned up for a 2-horse race and came third against the team that can't win a major final, and they aren't English Super Cup champions. So which way do you see? By the end of the season, I will get this recognised as the English Super Cup, not the Community Shield. If it was Spain, it would be the Super Cup. Which way do you see this going, Dan?
This is a game for me that is not even going to be classed as Tottenham versus Manchester City. This is going to be all about Harry Kane. That's all this game's going to be about.
Yeah.
Is Kane going to start for Spurs? Is going to be all the murmuring around the stadium prior to kick-off. If he plays well against City, does that mean that he's committed to Spurs? All these silly questions. It's going to be. It's just going to be the cameras all focused on Harry Kane. The game element of this match is completely gone. And even when you say that, you seem to think that who wins this game. I think obviously on the basis of it, you've got to look at Manchester City. I think it's Man City will want to hit the ground running, especially knowing Man United are playing Leeds and Man United have strengthened. They won't want Man United, starting strongly and they're not. So, and especially when it's against Spurs, it's a must-win game, no matter how early it is. But yeah, this game's going to be so much centered around the one player, and it's disappointing. But yeah, enough said about Harry Kane. It's Man City for me.
I'm totally see where you're coming from, and the problem is because of that, I don't think Harry Kane will have a good game.
No, I don't.
I don't think he's unprofessional and that he will go out and play a bad game. But when you're going to be under the intense pressure that he is or will be on that game, which is on Sunday, I feel sorry for the guy, to be honest with you. And I think this is why Daniel Levy, knowing that this was the first game up, won't sell Harry Kane yet. I think the Harry Kane deal is going to go through, but I think it will go through after this game. And
massively. This Harry Kane deal is definitely one of those where it's drags its arse all the way till deadline day.
Yes, but not as much as the Jordan Sancho transfer. I was so glad when that went through. I tell you.
Oh yeah, the amount of years that's been going on. Christ.
Oh, God. On behalf of every fan everywhere else, thank you for finally signing in Man United.
And I'm glad that the Messi deal went through. Yeah, I'm glad the Messi one went through pretty quick as well, because that would have just been spoken about for too long as well. So
it will. With Messi, and I'm just going to sidetrack for a very brief minute. It was 12 months ago when he wanted to leave Barcelona, and he was going on strike because he wanted to leave, and now he's in tears. Which is, would the real Messi please stand up? To be honest with you, apparently Chelsea are winning 1-0. All joking apart, well done Chelsea. You're an English team, I want.
Yeah, of course,
Chelsea.
yeah.
I want Chelsea to win. I joke, Scott.
For Ankit's sake. For Ankit's sake.
Yes, if there's nobody else for Ankit, he's probably spraying the beer around the room as we speak. I hope it's beer. Anyway, Scott says Spurs to win, a Son hat trick. Unfortunately, Scott, you're going to be on your own there because I'm going for Man City as well. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to go for Man City. No, I'm going to go for the draw.
Oh,
I know. All misses. Because I think that there is so much pressure on the game because of what you've said, and I just think it'll be one of those that does, you think Kane's going to go out, let's say, get a hat trick because Man City are after him and all that, and I just think it will disappoint. It's going on one of those games that we said earlier that you build it up and build it up and build it up, and it is just, you're disappointed. So I'm going to go for the draw, young man. Nobody thinks there's going to be many away wins in the top half. So Arsenal, Leeds, Brighton and Palace are all going to lose away from home. We couldn't really separate Everton and Southampton between the three of us. Wolves, I mean, why you bother even getting on the coach, Wolves? You know what I mean? Just stay at Molineux, honestly. If we lose, I am coming off social media for a week. I really am. Watford is the same. I mean, Watford and Norwich might as well just pack up and ask for the parachute payments now. Newcastle, we've agreed. We've gone for the draw. Newcastle win there. Tottenham, Man City, bit of a difference there, but neither of us can really see a Tottenham win at all. Dancer, it has been a pleasure having you on.
It's been a pleasure being on, Chris. So thank you for having me.
Yes. I might, and I enjoyed having you. I mean, sorry. I might be squeezing. Although you don't want to know that, but I might be squeezing a little prediction league in. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I'm just thinking now, what's that film with the hair and the I don't know, let's not.
Oh, I know what you mean with the gel.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking When Harry Met Sally, but that's
the one.
No, and Harry Met Sally was the fake orgasm at the diner.
Oh yeah, it was. Yes. It was. Yes, it was. I do know that song, by the way. You know, my old man's a dust man. I do know that song.
Very northern song, isn't it? That
it is. It is. It's up there. It's up there. What's it got? George Formby.
Yes, it is. George. Yes. So who's the woman from Rochdale? Gracie Fields.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I just want to start doing that now. My old man. Anyway, I'm going to have to stop having you on. I tell you what I want to do, and you would be perfect for this. Have you seen the Ian Wright and Alan Shearer things on TikTok? I don't know if you get TikTok at all.
Yes.
It's the Dream Team Challenge where they tell jokes to each other.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah,
I would love that.
But I'd love it. I tell you what, if they get their loss, I'd love it. But what I was thinking was that we could get somebody to come on as like an intermediary, tell a joke, and see if either of us laugh. I think that would be a good fun. It would,
and it'd break it up as well because you're also engaging with your audience a bit more, right? You as well.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
They can also have a laugh along with you as well.
This is it. Everybody laughs at me, so they might as well laugh along with me. And I might be actually doing a prediction league, and that is actually putting teams first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, which I haven't done yet. So if you're up for that, maybe before we kick off, But I'll talk to you sometime about that. But
yeah, I have got a joke for you. I do have a joke for you on the spot.
Burnley.
There, you win. I'm laughing. You win. No, a frog got its God, word's gone now. That's joke ruined, isn't it? Jesus Christ.
This is funnier than the joke.
Yeah, it is. Oh, God.
I'll give you 2 points for that. It wasn't the frog going to the library.
No, he'd got his results back to see where he originated from, and it turns out that he was half Scandinavian, a little bit Swiss, and a tadpole.
I have to. I'm laughing, but I have to add subtitles for anybody who is sort of not from the north. A tad is a little bit. On that note, I'm kicking you out, mate. Thanks so much.
I don't blame you.
You're here all week, unfortunately. Thanks very much. Take care, bud.
No problem. So long, folks.
And we will. Yes, exactly. You should be on the stage, the first one out of Burnley. We'll do that joke one. We'll certainly get that sorted.
Definitely, Chris. Thanks for having me on, mate. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on at the last minute. Cheers, buddy. Take care.
No problem at all. Take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, thanks to Dan for joining us. That is the prediction. So, just to quickly run down them again, we have got in no particular order. There we go. You can see me in big, beautiful, full colour there. We've got a Brentford win. I've gone for a draw. Leeds ain't going to get anything at Man United. Brighton might as well not turn up against Burnley, and same with Palace against Chelsea. That's just going to be a whitewash, I think, unfortunately. We couldn't split Everton and Southampton, but we all think Leicester are going to beat Wolves. Come on, Leicester. And Watford and Norwich, again, ain't going to get anything from those two games against Villa and Liverpool, respectively. Brad, surprisingly, in his Macedonia hat on, went for a Newcastle win over West Ham. Me and Dan went for draws. And Tottenham, well, you might as well sell Harry Kane now, because you're going to get nothing apart from, I think, possibly 1 point at Man City. But that's it for you. So that's what we've gone for. We were going to discuss fantasy leagues, which I will just briefly mention to you straight after this.
The Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
If you go onto the Leicester Till I Die website, simple www.leicestertillidie.com. I do a thing every game, Leicester Premier League game, with ex-players, and I'm really pleased to say that we've got a couple of new ex-players joining us. So there's myself, and we all predict the scores. I've got Ian Marshall, Steve Walsh, Steve Lynix, Ian Wilson, and Jerry Taggart, and they all try and predict the score. That is being sponsored by Ian Marshall's The Long Ball. And what we're going to do is set up a little mini league on the long board, a Leicester Till the Die mini league. It's free. There's no cost to join at all. It's a bit of fun. Brad's going to be running it. I was hoping he was going to have a mention here, but he's had to go, unfortunately. So we will be bringing you a separate quick show on that. Hopefully you want to join. You want to play along. It will be a bit of fun. Thanks a lot for tonight to Brad before he had to go, and also to Dan for joining us as well. That's the predictions. Will we get any right? I probably won't. I can't predict for Toffee. Thanks for joining us. We will be back. I'll be back. We will be back on Friday at 7 o'clock with me and the quizmaster himself, Craig, and we will be bringing you the Leicester Wolves preview show. A little bit different to how it was last year, last season, but it's still a good show. 7 o'clock Friday. don't touch that dial. It is the preview show. And if you want to catch up with us, then you can obviously do it on YouTube. Please, we only need something like 87 more subs, and we're at the 1,000, and that would financially help me. I put a lot of money into this, which I enjoy doing, and I have done, but getting a little bit back from being monetized by YouTube would help. Please go over and give me a sub. Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. And I literally say we need something like 97. We are so close, we can taste it. Please, please, please give us a sub. But if you want to listen to us rather than watch us, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts. If you just put the Leicester Till I Die podcast in Google, we come up on the first page. Podcast Addict and Anchor, to name but 6. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you on Friday at 7 o'clock. Stay safe.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
To an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.